going live now. I've got the waiting music too.
I like your waiting wiggly font.
So nice. Our audio is on. But I just heard us on stream.
Okay, there it is. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday morning, afternoon. I don't know what time zone y'all are in. Welcome to another Mina the Hollower development stream. Why don't we do our thing and go around real quick and say who we got in the chat right now. I'm Alec. I'm a designer at Yacht Club Games, and I'm directing this game. Bridget, who are you?
Hello, I'm Bridget. I do programming for Mina. On Discord, my name says Baguette, but it is Bridget.
Good clarification.
Michael, what about you?
Michael?
Oh, I'm next. I'm Michael. I am the producer on this game, and my Discord name is Michael.
Michael's
way
job
easier.
is to yell at me.
Sometimes.
What about you,
I'm
Sandy?
Sandy, and I do pixel art on Mina. Yay.
Whoa, you see all those dancing Minas in the chat? Yeah, that's right. Sandy pixeled those.
Very deliberately as a dance.
I also didn't realize until way too recently that Dancing Mina is not actually Dancing Mina.
Right.
It just looks like Dancing Mina, and that blew my mind.
Not yet. We gotta have dancing in the game. That's slated for like the tavern area. Okay, anyways, more people might like jump in later. So if you read the Kickstarter update, we said that we'd be working on some level design. But here's a fun thing that happens when you make games. Sometimes you ain't got time to work on the thing that you wanted to work on. You got to do something
Gotcha.
else. Gotcha! So I think we're not going to do some Frozen Trainyard level design, even though I got some of these tasks right over here. Look at these rooms, right? Instead, look at this big pile of things that I need to review right now. When other members of the team like make new art or program a new enemy or gameplay object, this all like comes back to me to check it out and see if, you know, we can make fun levels out of that content, or if like we need any adjustments to be made, or if something's like not clear. And if you look at all these tiny little orange snails, you can see that I have actually a lot of things that I need to review right now. So I thought maybe it would be a good opportunity to do a fun review pile stream. How fun. We're going to look at all these things and say whether they're done or not, and y'all can help. So yeah.
There done.
Also, it might
Sounds
be
cool.
fun to just like talk about like where the game is at kind of right now. We're coming to the end of another year here. People are starting to filter out for Thanksgiving. Before we know it, it's going to be Christmas break time. Where if you saw the Kickstarter update, our last one, then you'd know that we are committing to make the Astral Orrery. Here, I'll load up Sandy Gym. It's going to look maybe kind of like this.
It's very messy in there. Stuff
But
might even be broken.
this is our like weird space level. Look, the pits are just like the empty void of space. How cool. And over the past few weeks, we've been designing like what kind of content will be in here. This is like a first pass, like Sandy was saying, at the tile set. But if you look, there's like obviously not a lot of content, right? It's like that's it. We got some carpet, we got some like lab like materials over here. I wonder what that's all about. And we
Alec,
have Yep, what's up?
I thought this level was getting cut. I thought we didn't reach our funding goal.
We didn't.
How did this happen?
We decided to do it anyways. If you know anything about Yacht Club Games and stretch goals, you'd, you'd know that I guess we just like can't help ourselves. Whoops.
You mean heck yeah. It's
That's
going to be a
cool.
sick level.
That's gonna be really cool.
We slipped and fell into the Astral Orrery.
Right. I mean, this was also one where it was like all of our like trippiest, weirdest, like coolest, wacky ideas could like go here because it's like a otherworldly kind of zone. And if we cut this level, you know, where are we gonna fit all them wacky ideas? What are we gonna do? Can't cut the astral orrery. Come on.
There was one wacky idea though that we so far ended up cutting for this area.
We've cut a lot
That
from
re-
this area.
That real-time clock.
Oh yeah.
So, in terms of like the game's like total scope and its content, where we're kind of at is like there's going to be these like 6 main areas. These are like mandatory in order to complete the game. This is the 6th one. So like of like the main content of like going to a new zone and like having to clear it out and find and fight a boss at the end. This is like our last one of those that we're kicking off right now. That doesn't mean the game is done. There's still obviously got to be like a final level. We ain't done that. There's still obviously got to be like an intro level that teaches you the mechanics. We ain't done that one. And a whole bunch of like stuff in between, you know, that you don't really think about, but you need to make a game, you know, like a million menus and languages and balancing and everything else that comes along with like making this a fun and cool and cohesive adventure. So like basically the first pass of all the stuff we're like throwing at the wall here. We're like getting to the end of it now, but there will probably still be a fair amount of time needed to like polish everything up, get the story in there, make sure all of that's good, write all the dialogue, you know. Just, there's a million things. But yeah, we're going to keep trucking through all this, and I'm going to stop talking about when I think the game will come out and shut my mouth. So why don't we get started? That was enough preamble. Right at the top, new enemy, the Star Shooter. Let's look at the design to refamiliarize ourselves. Star Shooter, simple enemy, shoots projectiles and rotates and then shoots more projectiles and then rotates again. When it's rotating, it's like blocking, so you can't hit it. And when it opens up, you can hit it. There's like a million like Mega Man enemies that work like this.
This was inspired by a specific enemy, right?
Yeah, we're playing Battle Kid, that like NES homebrew game. There's like a guy that's kind of like this, and we're like, that's a good enemy. We should put that in there.
Whoa.
Here's Sandy's cool mock-ups. Blah. Shooting some projectiles. And now it's been programmed, so let's look at all this. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't look like the enemy is above ground enough. I think the sprite could be adjusted to make it more obvious what direction it's facing. These are David's pieces of feedback. Might make sense to make these guys one-hit kills, no matter what level the player is at. Could be helpful to have a palette-swapped version that only attacks when it's in range, so you can put more on screen or control the shots.
Hey, Alec.
What's up?
Who's Dave?
David's the lead programmer. So when all these things get programmed, they get sent to him to take a look at before I do. Make sure it's all
Cool.
in there.
Today I learned.
You ought to know that.
Wait, all this time you never know who David was?
All this time.
Oh,
That's disturbing.
I'm having a mild
I thought it was I thought it was a dream. Okay. Sorry, just for explanation. Okay.
That's a great
Please
question,
resume.
though, because there is a process for who talks to who and the various steps of handing off these ideas and in the process of executing on them.
Yeah,
like
a lot of these bugs get passed around like a ton. They
Mhm.
just jump around.
Okay. We're going to make a little area over here to make some Star Shooter setups. See if this enemy's any fun, or if I designed a terrible enemy and it's no fun. Oops.
Alec, how do you know if it's fun? What do you look at?
There's like a few things. For an enemy like this, they're like a simple enemy, right? It seems like they're probably going to end up dying in one hit, right?
What's a simple
so
enemy? And what's not a simple enemy?
A simple
I don't know any of
enemy.
these
Oh,
words
no.
you're saying. I'm a newborn child.
A simple enemy doesn't have a lot of attacks or a lot of like unique behavior that the player needs to understand. They do like one thing. This guy's pretty simple. Does one thing, right? So as a result, like we're not really looking for an enemy that's gonna be like challenging to fight necessarily on their own. But you know, this is a late game level. The structure of the game is like open, so you can go kind of wherever you want once it opens up. But obviously, like some areas are going to be harder than others, or harder to get to than others. I think that this will likely be the like last of the areas that players choose to tackle. So it should be simple, but can't be like too much of a pushover.
It seems like simple guys are also useful to layer with other simple guys or more complicated guys.
Definitely, yeah. These guys are like providing like texture and like making other encounters more annoying or more difficult or more interesting to deal with. Okay. I see what we're thinking. I see what we're saying about it not like feeling like it's floating. I think the shadow is just like too high. It's like too high up.
The sprite seems like it needs to be higher off the ground too. It's
Yeah.
like snapped to the tile.
I like that it's like that it is snapped with the tile, like you're saying though. I think that's like good. That it perfectly aligns with the grid like that.
I mean, what does the necromancer look like when it's floating? Because that's basically snapped. It's like still on the ground kind of, but
let's put them next to each other, see what happens.
Alec, we're a couple of minutes behind because we're just watching stream. Unless you want to share your screen, I don't know if that'll mess up your audio.
No, it'll be fine. I'll share in our private thing.
By a couple minutes.
There you go.
Like 10 seconds.
Yeah, a couple minutes. Come on.
Oh, sorry. I'm also working. I kind of lied. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that closely. Sorry. I'm mostly listening.
Wow.
But now I'm very much in the present.
You're locked in. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
yeah, it's like 2 pixels different. Well, 3 technically.
Turn the grid off. Grab.
The shadow seems too wide also. I prefer the size of the necromancer one.
Yeah. Should be more like 25. Maybe something like should just be like down here probably, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then like he like stays in the same spot. Maybe like a little smaller. So it seems more like a shadow. Maybe like a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Something like that. Seems a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'll just grab this guy, shrink them down to. Does that go to you, Sandy?
For the shadow?
Yeah.
No.
Do you
'Cause
need
the
to
shadow's
add a
not
new
baked.
one? Oh, okay.
No, there's no shadow. There's no baked shadow.
We ain't baking no shadows.
Yeah, but it should be this smaller size shadow, not that like super wide one that's currently being used.
Cool. Lower the shadow. Make it a little smaller. Necromancer is a good reference. Keeping the enemy aligned with the tile grid is good.
I can't tell if it has sound effects, but when it opens its mouth, I'm picturing like a a sound like a bird. Yeah, hopefully it's not as obnoxious as it is like in my mind.
Add
My
some
mind is
sound
picturing.
effects. There's no sound effects right now. For stuff, oftentimes that doesn't like super matter, but for things that are like timing based, like this, right? He's like, blah, blah, blah. Like if there's gonna be a bunch of stuff like moving around like this, being able to like intuit the timing of it based on the sound and the rhythm, actually I think like makes a difference and like makes these guys easier or harder to deal with.
Could you make those sound
Nope.
effects again?
That was very nuclear thrown.
No, really.
Yeah, it sounded like chicken.
He made all those with his voice, right? A lot of those.
Jonas, yeah. He always does that for all his games.
Wow. Projectile speed seems like pretty good. It's like something I really gotta like watch out for, but it's not gonna like cheese me. You can like jump over it.
I don't remember in the GDD, does this guy have any like props about, this one only goes left to right?
Yeah, there's a
Or
bunch of that.
do they all rotate?
Right now I'm just looking at what happens when we like place a stationary one. How about his like timings? When can I hit him? When can I not? Get this necromancer out of here.
Get out of here.
Seems alright. Let's just make the player like really strong so we can simulate them dying in like one hit. Or two. Yeah, they seem like they should be one hit if they're gonna be like blocking for that long.
Alec, people in stream are complimenting your sound effects. You have a lot of fans.
Thank you.
Including Sean Velasco, your biggest fan.
Sean is my biggest fan.
Hello, Sean.
Okay. Sprite could be adjusted.
Yo, I'm back.
to
Sorry, I'm back.
What's up, Sean?
Sean, who are you?
You want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi there, I'm Sean Velasco. I'm a designer here at the Yacht Club. I worked on such games as Shovel Knight and Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows and all the other ones.
Two best ones.
I'm currently working on some cool projects and also helping out on this one. On Mina, and I just got back from the dentist, and the half of my mouth is very numb, and talking, I feel weird. And I heard that y'all were going through the review pile, which is a fun thing that we like to do.
Now, when you say fun,
Sure is.
Dude, I love going through the review pile. That's my favorite thing. Because when those bugs are done, they're done, and that makes me happy.
When those bugs are done, they're done.
And if they're not done, then they get figured out because everyone puts their heads together.
it is good. It is a good way to make a lot of progress on everything in there.
It's the best way to get stuff done, to do it together.
I've also
Just like
noticed,
everything.
Sean, you always say the Yacht Club. Have I been saying it wrong this whole time?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
always
Like instead of Yacht Club
You
games?
never say Yacht Club. You always say the Yacht Club.
I don't know.
Well, it's not any old yacht club.
It's not a yacht club.
Yeah, it's not a yacht club.
It's the Yacht Club. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's so you don't get confused.
I gotcha.
It's a colloquialism. I like to say here at the Yacht Club or here at the Yacht Club occasionally.
You're just confusing people even more who already say Yacht Club.
I'm sorry.
All right, sorry for the detour. Alec,
Wow, we're just showing our whole bug database. Isn't there like secret stuff on here?
I already like went through it and made sure that everything's fine. No secrets will be revealed today.
Yeah, nobody add
do
any
we do, like-
bugs for the next 2 hours.
We do like billing on here, or it's
as long as Alec does not choose any other projects.
As long as I don't click certain links on that page.
Wow, what a minefield.
If people wanted to, I'm sure they could find out some secrets. I know one spot where like I accidentally like leaked something, but no one has found out, and no one ever will because it's so hidden that no one would ever notice.
Our secret developer backers would never do that anyway. Right, everybody.
Of course. Sorry, I can follow along with the Discord chat, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing now, I think I agree that like it should be easier to tell what direction it's gonna shoot. So how do we want to do this, Sandy?
Well, my concern with that, not that I disagree, but that I'm afraid of the amount of work this sprite is going to require, like for custom frames, to really increase if we like tilt it and then have to account for like 8 directions, as opposed to this just being like a simple sprite.
Let me see how it's constructed.
Is there some kind of like antic effect we could do instead, like on top of the sprite, in the direction that it's gonna go, or something?
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially.
Or like add a particle over the like legs that are about to shoot.
To indicate directionality.
Yeah.
Did you know that antic is short for anticipation?
Anticipation.
Yes.
I like how Waz didn't know that until like a few
What? Really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's
It
funny.
was a whole
I've-
moment.
yeah, ever since then I've been like, oh, think this is surprising to people.
What do nerds?
It doesn't help that antic on its own is a word.
Right. Yes.
I think it just needs to flash like which arms are gonna shoot instead of like his entire thing flashing. Like this is like the problem. It should just be like these horizontal
Just the
ones.
arms flash.
Yeah.
Yep. That'd be fine.
Question number 2, like, do we think it's important that that orientation is revealed while it's shielding like this, or is it okay that like you're not quite sure?
I don't know.
What do you guys think?
What was the question?
Like, there's no way to tell like what direction he's facing while he's shielding.
I think his shadow looks weird.
We already talked about that.
The shadows.
Okay. I'm glad we already got the
Sean.
important stuff out of the way. That's how review time goes.
I think maybe it's fine. You can't tell while he's like guarding.
What is this? It's like a sea star?
It's like a star with a beak.
Okay.
It's a space starfish.
Okay. I think it's okay that you aren't sure while it's blocking. Let's have it flash which arms are going to shoot before or after instead of flashing the whole thing.
Am I crazy, or does Link's Awakening have like a beaked enemy?
There's some beaks. There's those owl statues. You put a beak in there. There's
But like some sort of like
on the desert.
tentacle thing?
There's some little guys I think that have like weird beaks that look like Sarlacc pits from Star Wars.
That must be what I'm thinking of.
And in Zelda 1, there's that boss that's like a bunch of beaks. What's that one? Then you have to like bomb it? What's that one?
A bunch of beaks in Zelda 1.
Yeah.
Does our Carcatron guy have a beak? He doesn't, does he?
He does.
It's got a beak.
Oh, he does? Okay.
We're being
this
consistent
one.
with our
That's the other one I'm...
usage.
Yeah,
The
that's the other one I'm
man-
picturing.
The manhandler?
Oh,
Is
excuse
he
me.
manhandles you? You remember this guy?
Oh, that
What?
Zelda
thing.
1?
Maybe
That's
what
not
my
a real
brain
name.
is trying to dig up.
He's the manhandler.
Is he really?
You
Bro,
probably.
this guy needs to do his harassment training.
And he's in Oracle of Seasons. Maybe you're thinking of this one.
Is that his real name? Oh, that's fantastic.
That's just a quad piranha plant.
It's something. Okay, that seems cool. What else do we? What else are we thinking with this guy? Let's make him move. Let's test all that out.
Oh, I forgot they could even move. It's getting real complicated.
Move speed. Default is 6. Well, let's keep it at 6 and see how that feels. And I'll make another one. This guy will like move on a spline up and down. How about that? Star shooter spline. Path, I assume. He probably like doesn't need a move speed if he's on a spline. That's probably like time speed, right?
Probably use either of them.
Type reverse. Let's see how that looks. My brother's calling me.
Well, I thought he was gonna like sloop around at you.
What does that mean?
Like his behavior. Like I thought he was gonna be like that, like the worm that pops out and comes at you. You know, like he could align himself with you.
Oh no, he doesn't do that. Do you think he should?
Definitely. I mean, if the stationary one's important to be like a turret, then sure. But there should be like a green one that like at you, and that or like aligns himself and tries to shoot at you, because that would be useful as an actual enemy that you would fight, like in level design. Tries to stay a certain distance from you, shoots at you.
Yeah.
Just real simple.
That'd
be my note.
That could combine with David's note here. We could do a palette swap version that only attacks when it's in range and like tries to chase the player as opposed to like not worrying about the player.
Yeah, either way. I think both of those sound good.
Let's make one that I think both of those behaviors would complement one another.
Does this guy have any other properties? Seems pretty rudimentary.
I mean, he's supposed to be the simplest enemy in the stage. Random rotation direction, whoa. Shield time, you can set, that's good. How do I make him infinitely spawn? I wish Eli was in here so he could tell me.
I think our guy is on a plane.
I know.
Channel your inner Eli. What would he say?
Oh, there's no, he hasn't got one where they're infinitely spawning, I don't think.
Oh yeah, didn't you share that during Discord round?
I mean, it's gotta be in here. Maybe in the bug, there's random options, in case that's useful for endless spawner setup. See room 39 in my gym. Okay.
Prepared.
Oh, there they are. That's like in the bottom left. There they are. That's the star zone. Let's make... I feel like we gotta have like a long scrolling room with these guys coming infinitely. So how about like that? And you'll walk across. Rotation direction. Let's make all of these clockwise.
I guess this is like the review pile that you would be doing on your own, not like in a group.
Yeah, these are like specs that have already gone through.
Are you bored, Sean?
I'm just saying that like this is like a real thorough. Like I don't know, if we're doing the review pile as a group, generally we wouldn't go this deep on stuff, I would say. Right?
No, this would be wasting everyone else's time.
That's
I mean, this is also like,
style.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes you gotta like hash stuff out together. Sometimes you, sometimes you're like looking through all this review stuff on your own and trying to make determinations.
Maybe people have questions about all the various kinds of piles we have.
Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely. Look at all the, what are those different piles? Let's look at the piles.
All right.
Welcome to Pile Radio.
To do is stuff that we need to do. These things generally haven't been started, or like it got passed back to someone else to like do something new on it. Open is like stuff we're working on right now. I'm gonna drag that out of there because I'm not working on it right now. And then review is like, hey, I did it. Like, is this done? Sign off on it, yes or no, or like pass it back to me. Discuss, we like put stuff in here when it's like, all right, I can't figure this out, we gotta like make a decision. And then like 2 or 3 times a week we have like a designated time in the morning where we'll like go over anything that's in here. Anybody on the whole team can make it and move any of these tasks around. This is like how we track it and know what people's like concerns are, I guess.
Is that true? If someone moves something off of my plate, I would be like, hey.
Well, move their own tasks around.
I mean, that would be rude, but sure.
You can move your own tasks around, but you really don't move. Or if you move someone else's task around, I would say you better have like a really good reason. You're like, oh, sorry, Sandy, I took this bug back off of you because I forgot there's something I got to write up for it.
Yeah.
Blocked is
I do
like...
do that sometimes.
Michael has like administrative control of the board, right? Like he like moves stuff. He like moves stuff around all the time. He's like in charge. He's like the board ranger.
I am the board ranger. I get a
ranger.
little board badge. But you're exactly right, Sean. I always go like, hey, I moved this from you, by the way. Here's why.
I move.
Let me know.
I move Morgan's bugs because he doesn't update them.
Right, Morgan doesn't. Morgan's a special case.
Morgan's very special.
Morgan's special.
Okay, next column's blocked. This is like, hey, we can't do this because we need to like do something else first.
Yeah, if you want to like passive aggressively say you want something done, you put it in that column.
Right.
It's not passive aggressive. It's very important.
And then
it's very direct.
It is very direct. It does escalate some urgency for issues, but I think it's been helpful for us to realize, oh, people can't do their work for certain reasons. We should resolve that.
And done is things that are done. And then every 2 weeks this refreshes. And new things get added and done things get removed.
Oh yeah.
So that's how we do work and manage our employees. Okay, what was I doing? Making one of these guys. I need ground so you can see where the hell you are. They need to like go faster. It's got to be like those Mega Man guys where they like fly in and then shoot and then fly off. Do I have like a prop for that? Is that move
Fly
speed?
speed.
Wrong. It's move speed. Default is 6. What if it was 12?
Whoa.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Yeah, that's more like it. Whoa, this is starting to be awesome. It's like
Starting. It's starting to get good.
Star.
They need to spawn like less frequently. Let's double that. Spawn rate variance. We don't want any of that.
Are these actually all on and changeable?
Yeah,
Or
we have like a system for like spawn zones. Like the sign knives use like all the exact same props. Isn't that neat? All right, fine. I guess it's not.
It's neat.
that's very neat. Everyone loves it.
That seems pretty cool. I like that they stop when they shoot. They need to like be open for longer, I think, so you have like more of a chance to like hit them. Is that a cutter delay, Sandy?
For when they're open?
Yeah. Like,
What do you mean? Like after they shoot?
Like okay, look at this guy right here. He's like shooting, and then his mouth is open, and now he's like doing this. What's this frame? What's this sequence? Like before he flips and moves.
Go to the annex. That is the outro, I believe.
Shoot straight outro.
Yep, just double that or something.
It's 24 frames. What if it was doubled?
Yeah.
That's gonna be like too many. How about 40 frames? And it's like all of these outros, I guess. 40.
Yep.
Oh, just those two. Let's see how that
You wish
feels.
you had your big build button right now.
I know. I ain't got time to run up and smack him. A little bit more. But not too much time. Should you have like more time like before they open? Or less time maybe? It's like short enough that I like want to get that hit in right now, but it's like long enough that I'm failing when I try to do that. Like, gotcha. I think maybe it should be like faster, so it's like, hey, don't do that. You need to like anticipate them. Is that can we set that? What's this, Sandy?
Come again?
Is that intro instead of outro?
Probably, yeah. Or shoot. The mouth is shoot.
It's like before it shoots though.
Um,
Like this. Like what's he doing while he's flashing?
Ready.
Oh. Well, these... It's probably not actually using these timings, is it? What if I made it 3 times as long? I just want to see if that does anything. No. That's like being done in code. Star shooter enemy. State shoot.
Shooter enemy.
Shoot antic. Shoot antic. Config data. Case shoot antic.
Alec, get out of there.
No.
Can't be in there.
Just try
What's the coder today?
Just try and stop me.
Can't
How
There it
long
is.
ago was it? Yeah, I didn't.
Look, I found
I
it.
didn't go to C++ school.
Yeah, who needs school? Alright, I'm doubling that.
Who needs to look?
16 frames. Or wait, no, I said I was going to make it shorter. Duh.
Duh.
So 16, how about 8?
Alec, how did you hack the mainframe? How did you do it?
What can I say? I'm a genius.
I thought we were going through the review pile.
We are.
Let's go. What's happening?
Come scream,
Reviewing
man.
the implementation of the Star Shooter is one of the items on there. Part of that review process is seeing if there's any notes from some test setups for it. And once you're done with this round of feedback, Alec, on the Star Shooter, maybe we should do some questions that have popped up in the chat.
Sure. Rattle them off while I type.
Hey,
Alright.
Mystery a Squirrel asks if the bolts that come out of the starfish are parryable, as in you can damage them or deflect them. I don't think so, right? They're just like energy beams.
Nope. Yeah. And projectiles that are like glowy or have like solid, like colorful outlines like this, you like can't really interact with. The point of it is that it hits the player. And also,
if it has
like,
a black outline, you can interact with it generally.
Yeah, sometimes we want that, but like.
Yeah, like the arrows.
For a guy like this, though, I think it's important because, like, hold on, I'm waiting for him to turn around. Okay, let's say we're in this situation. I'm like fighting this guy over to the right. Like, what I wanna do already is like hit him when he stops blocking. And so, if, for example, it was that you could hit the projectile to make it dissipate or kill it or whatever, then by doing what I want to do, I'm just going to negate the projectile, right? Because I'm going to like whip right here, and like it's going to go through that and hit him, so like I'm not even needing to think about or contend with the projectile. That's why you can't, and whipping it does nothing. Because I think that would just make this guy like kind of pointless to place. Okay, I think maybe that's good.
Cool.
Anything else we want to adjust? No. All right, comment added. I'm sending that to you, Sandy, to figure out the tip, the flashing the tips.
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool. And that goes in
frosted tips.
That's for the ska level.
I didn't realize the astral array takes place in the 90s.
It's one of
Slash
the
early
features.
2000s.
Yeah, we had to cut that feature.
It's the new metal level.
Yeah, the Y2K level.
Anthony Yoki, hope I'm saying that right, asks, how do we make a 2D sprite-based game act like it's a 3D game with jumping into walls and going under stuff? That's been a pretty big one.
The answer is you don't want to know.
And also we had to redo it like 5 times.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have to continue addressing key things. I guess there's no single answer, yeah.
Hard won knowledge and like messing up a lot and looking at what other games did.
There aren't that many out there though. It's like Star Tropics and Gremlins, and that's it.
And Rock's Feather.
Even last week or 2 weeks ago, we resolved like a pretty big bug of like, how much should it look like you're able to walk behind flying enemies or 2 tile tall enemies, and there's lots of edge cases that we have to figure out systemic solutions for. And there will be plenty more before we ship, I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure that at some point, like before or after we ship the game, we'll write some kind of blog post or something about high-low. I'm like sure that we would.
Bridget, can you explain it in like a paragraph? Like, is there one layer, or is there like 2? Are there multiple floors, or like how does Mina jump from high to low, or like?
I honestly don't. I don't want to try to explain because I think I'd get it wrong because Eli and David just went through and like did that big pass to.
Okay, so they actually
like, adjust
changed
how it's working. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they changed some. So yeah. I like now there's like multiple like extra hitboxes getting generated and stuff.
Dude, really?
I don't think I could summarize it. So that's why I'm saying like for folks, I think there are folks that are like really interested in it.
Yeah.
So I think at some point it would be really cool to actually write something up for posterity and bragging rights. That it's come this far.
Definitely.
In a future stream, if Eli's on, you should definitely ask that question again because he's been kind of the point person for
yeah, I think if I tried, I would just like summarize how it was working.
Not describable by a human.
Don't pick me.
not or not describable off the cuff. But
Ask ChatGPT, probably knows.
Whoa.
I can like kind of explain it. There's a thread somewhere in the Discord. It might be pinned in one of the channels. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, you could post it. That like kind of talks about our approach to this stuff that I wrote. But like things are generally considered to be in like one of 3 heights, and we try to like keep things clearly at one of those heights in order to just make the clarity of the game better. There's obviously like walking around on the ground. There's burrowing. That's like, you know, some things can hit me while I'm burrowing, some things can't. And then there's like I'm up in the air, right? Sometimes there's things you have to like jump to hit. When you're just walking around normally, the game like has no idea like what height you're at. And so if I were to, for example, like make like a little upper area like this, the game like doesn't know like that I'm like up above anything as far as it's concerned. This is like regular ground and this is regular ground, and these just like are collision. And so things generally like aren't operating or crossing between those things, because that makes it a lot more confusing. It all just like happens on the player, and depending on like the height that they're at, you'll notice that like when I jump, it like leaves another hitbox along the ground, so that like grounded things won't hit me now, but like they could if I descended in height far enough. Aerial things can hit me, and everything.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the trouble comes in like when you're transitioning in between one of those 2 states. Like if Mina is in the ground, or like, you know, at the top of her jump, or exactly on the ground, then it's like a lot more straightforward. But when she's like starting to jump, or like starting to burrow, there's like some cases that might seem unfair that I think the team has worked really hard to try to address.
Yeah.
And there's tricky things like what happens when you walk behind a tall enemy, or when you walk behind a flying enemy, and what cases should you get hit and what cases shouldn't you get hit.
Right, like something like Bone Bird that's transitioning from, you know, like flying really high up, but then transitioning into like flying much lower on the ground, and like which of those count towards hitting you.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at this glass flipper, if you guys haven't figured it out. Right now I'm just, if you are wondering why I'm jumping into it a million times, I'm like checking like the proximity that you have to be to it in order for it to work, and making sure that that feels natural. Seems pretty good. You gotta be like mostly overlapping it, basically. Yeah. And then you're stuck underneath the glass. You probably shouldn't be able to pop out unless you move out of the flipper's area first. What does that mean? I just can't
Somebody,
pop out of
sorry, Cisco Raglan Jr. posted your thread if people want to read it in the Discord.
Nice. Thank you very much.
I feel like does the Super Mario World version like have any SPAC or screen shake or anything that makes it feel more impactful when you flip?
No. You think you want some like hit stop on there or something?
Something just feels lacking, and yeah, I'm wondering if it's hit stop. Like, I feel like there should at least be some when you hit it from above, like there.
Nah, dude. You know what it is? Like, you see my like burrow splash right there? That effect? That like shouldn't be here, because I'm not like digging into the dirt, and it's like obscuring like the entire animation that you made.
It definitely should not be there, you're right.
That's the issue, I think. And there's like no sound, right? If it went bloop, like each time you did it, then I think it would feel more like an intentional action.
I think because it's a hard surface, I want to feel the impact a little bit. Oh yeah, there we go, thanks.
I guess it doesn't like hit stop when you burrow bonk though.
Does it not?
No. It did.
Oh yeah. Come on, go in it.
Dang
go
it.
in it. No.
Dang it! Come on. Damn it!
You're not playing Mario right.
Stupid long players. Mario World. Long play.
Short play.
All exits 60 FPS. Get in there.
Isn't there hit stop when you bonk on metal though? In Mina?
No.
There's something.
Damn it. Come on, man. Whoa, you can carry a P block during that?
Very
What? I didn't
Whoa,
know.
wait, what? When you're
We're getting distracted.
We gotta look at this for Sandy.
For Sandy.
for Sandy Sanity.
For his Sandy.
Sandy Anticipation.
It's also known as an anticipation.
Anticipation.
Oh.
Go in there, please. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty lame. Okay.
Here,
Maybe there was a tiny bit of like stop at the very beginning. Boop.
Wow, that
Yeah, I
looks
guess
great.
not. It's just slow. It's just a lot of frames.
Okay.
I digress.
Let's have it not create.
Like Russian Sandy. Antic and SPAC. Bridget, we should have a dictionary, you know, like on the
A
website
glossary.
or something. A glossary.
What is
And
SPAC
Yatch.
stand
Don't forget
for?
Yatch.
Is
I
SPAC
don't.
a short version of something? That I actually don't know.
We had this conversation like 8 months ago, and
Yeah.
and we looked it up. That is like it's just like a term.
Just
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
it's a non-animation term.
we didn't. I don't think we
I
made that
interpreted
up.
it. I interpreted it as like an onomatopoeia thing, like this is the sound that it makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like from comic books, like when you hit something and it goes like blam, whack, SPAC,
Right,
and then
right,
there's
right.
like that thing behind it. I figured it was like like that was related somehow. That's my headcanon.
The actual meanings are nothing like the way you use it in animation, or at least the way that we use it. So this is even
Wait, you're
more
saying that
confusing.
SPAC is like an animation word outside of this?
Well, the actual
Yeah, like
meaning,
at Disney
there is
or
one.
whatever.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, all
Or
terms
whatever.
have like a local studio.
Yes, like
I mean,
Kapow.
yeah.
Like Kapow.
Yeah.
For where I've worked previously, SPACs were called Squibs.
Squibs!
And like,
Get out of
yeah,
here! Boo!
because that's what they call them on
Yeah, in a movie
live
set.
action. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
True.
yeah, that makes sense.
Squibs.
Unacceptable.
Y'all talking about some squibs?
And then
Squibs.
I remember,
Yep.
like that. I think Sean, for like ghost trails, you had a specific term you used for them.
Shadow trails, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Where like there's like echoes of a character's sprite left
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
Oh, the anim trails?
Anim trails.
Yeah, I think so.
Alec, is there anything else going on about glass?
I don't think so. I said temp sound effect would be good. I'm not. We've gone like back and forth over like what the rules of it should be, and I'm not sure if it's like broken or if like the rules were iterated outside the scope of my knowledge. So I'm like asking a question about that. Putting that on David to review, and he will decide.
Deciding David.
Decided David. All right. Next up, the comet. Whoa, cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty
Oh
awesome.
yeah, I haven't seen this one yet.
Let's make some comet rooms.
Make some rude comments.
Rude comments.
Oh wait, before we do that, you can make the glass flippers move around. I should
Gotta
like
comment
eventually
to
make one of
SVN.
those. Comet.
Comment to SVN. Comment your changes.
I guess you just do time on, time off, and time offset, and that's all you need. And then this one will be offset by 1. That's back in the glass gem. Whoa.
Jim.
What's our inside jokes and lame puns? I thought were funny.
Yeah, but if people are like, "What the hell is a SPAC?" or "What's a anticipation?" Like, I don't know. we're kind of getting off track pretty frequently here.
I thought that's the kind of stuff that you're here for. You want to know what that's the real game developer knowledge.
If anyone's been to a Yacht Club stream before, this is probably commonplace, but just in case.
Okay, I think the
It's a
moving ones are
spectacle.
fine. Let's make some comets. Woo! Over here, I'll make the
Don't
comment
apologize
zone.
for us, Sandy. This is what it's like.
This is daily life at the Yatch Club.
This is how it is at the Yacht Club.
I added yatch to the dictionary also.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
You're just gonna perpetuate the wrong stereotype about us that we're called the Yatch.
Sandy, this organization really fell apart.
Tell me about it. I know. I had a system in place, but it got like argued against. So.
I don't know. I don't know enough
goes.
about tiled, but could we reorganize? I don't like if we tried to reorganize that. I assume that it would break.
Jasper tried to do it once, actually.
It could
I
be
remember.
possible.
No.
but-
Is that a no-no?
That's it. No.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, it is. It has become kind of a mess,
Sandy, you gotta put collision on these tiles.
which is no one's fault.
I didn't. Wait, what?
There's no collision on these ones.
Oh yeah, those are. Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Alright, so
Why
this
are you
is the
trying to make Mina
comet.
blow up?
This is the comet. When you throw it, it bounces back. But only once.
Cool. That looks cool.
I like its little idle like spark effect that shows it's like it's all hot.
I kind of want that pulse before you pick it up to be slower, though. That looks too fast.
I feel like it just has like too much like animation in general. This isn't like doing anything, but it's like attracting so much attention. Why is it flashing?
Is it going to blow up?
It's supposed to be a slow cadence pulse to just let you know that it's like volatile.
It should just sit there. It's not volatile,
It's
right?
not, yeah, it's not doing anything
Well,
though.
We've changed the spec quite a bit, so I think it would be fine now to just have it like, yeah, not pulse.
It ain't volatile. Get him.
Dude, get him.
Get him.
The original spec was quite different. So.
I know. I believe
I
you.
feel like I kind of get it though. Like if it's a comet, you know.
It's
mean,
just distracting.
landed there.
With with
Yeah.
pickups like this, you know, we're gonna put like a bunch of them. Now my eye is like being drawn to this area.
Yeah, no, I agree. It should just rest on the brightest frame or the brightest palette there. Use the brightest one.
Yeah. Okay. Is that you don't need to do anything? That's just a programmer thing.
Yeah, it's just programming, and I think that the little fireworks are happening too frequently. That's too much.
They look like they're like doing something. I think when it's idle, it should just be like a static sprite. And while you're holding it, it can be a little like, ooh, it's flashy and weird.
If it flashes when you're holding it, it seems like it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
Oh god, when's it going to blow up?
They're flashing while it's traveling. It's good though.
How about this? What if when it's just on the ground, it has no particles and it's just the brightest palette? Then when you pick it up, the little particles appear, but it does not flash. That's it.
Okay. That's fine. But I mean, that sounds okay to me.
Cool.
But that's
Sure.
but I'm just a bystander.
It's review time.
I'm an
why you're
innocent
here.
bystander. I don't need to approve the meteorite though. I have no
You're right.
I have no meteorite jurisdiction.
You have
Hey,
no
when you
meat
get-
in this game.
When you guys are ready, I've got another addition to the dictionary.
Whoa.
I think
yeah.
I think we got to add piano boss has to be in the dictionary.
Oh yeah, we definitely
Definitely.
thought about that.
Is that is that like an original term?
I've never heard piano boss.
I think it was maybe a way forward. Someone said piano boss,
Oh wow.
or maybe that was coined.
Yeah, I
By
thought that
someone
was
here.
like ubiquitous.
No, it's not a thing.
Oh,
That's
I definitely don't think it's ubiquitous.
yeah.
That's a great term. I like that one.
That's fun.
Yeah.
One being carried, particles but no flashing.
I added collision to those walls, by the way.
Nice. And I think when you throw it, like that pallet should, if it's gonna flash like that, it should like flash a lot faster.
I thought we were saying it should just not happen.
Well, while
Maybe
it's
after you've
like,
thrown it.
yeah, like right now. It's
Yeah, yeah, sure.
palette red, much faster,
Much faster.
much faster.
Much faster.
Okay, and then that'll do it. What about how it actually works? If I blow it up, I don't take damage. That seems
Dr. Blue in chat is asking
that
if it'll
seems
blow up if you
not
hold it for too long.
intentional.
It will not blow up if you hold it for too long. That's why it shouldn't flash, because that would indicate to the player
Precisely.
that, oh boy, it's going to blow up. Good question.
Let's put that in there.
You got to make the spreadsheet, Bridget, if we don't already have one.
I was gonna post this little 4-word list in Side Talk.
It'll be 100
Uh,
words by the end of the day, I'm sure.
Okay.
People could add their cool terms from other weird places too. Scott was calling there was an enemy that had like angry lines coming off of him, and he called them Iminata in the bug, and we're like, what the hell is that? And that's like the name for that, angry lines that appear, you know, like when someone's mad and like in a comic and like angry lines or squiggles appear out of them. It's like from Animate. Yeah, it's like from Animation or something. Here,
Yeah,
I'll link
yeah.
to you.
Here, Sean, you want to add words to this thread? I can't think of any more yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually can either.
Damn it! You said there would be 100.
Okay,
almost
sorry.
regret it.
I may have overpromised.
Believe it. BRB.
That's a big shake.
Just seeing if the hitboxes are like accurate. Seems a little strange. I'm never gonna learn how to spell accurate.
Are you saying it's gonna be inaccurate?
Yep. Hitboxes don't feel very accurate to the popcorn explosions. What else? If I throw it while it's like way up in the air, this is like another weird thing about it. That shouldn't hit me. Let's fight an enemy with it. Give me good old Skulker. Whoa, it's so good. Seems pretty good. Let's put some diagonals in here. Test that out.
Sean, what's a smart bomb?
It's from Star Fox.
The smart bomb effect. I guess I'm not sure if Star Fox is where we got it from, but we used it on a lot of like the side-scrolling 16-bit games. It's like when you blow up something in like Mega Man X and like a circle appears over the thing that's blowing up, along with explosions, and then like rays come out.
Or like the Metroid power bomb.
Yes, exactly like that. And like, you know, some of the screen is usually it's like usually masked off, or like it turns white or it turns black or something. The smart bomb effect.
Talk about smart bombs for one more minute while I go to the bathroom.
Okay. I think we could have done that even without the prompt. Yeah, so the smart bomb effect was used a lot at Way Forward. I think it was on Batman. I think it was maybe originally made for Thor when David worked on Thor and he made that smart bomb effect. And since then it's been ported over and it's been used in like a million games. The smart bomb effect. You just throw it on because it's like a Mega Man X boss dying. So anytime you kill something, you put a smart bomb effect, or it's like you throw down an explosion, boom, smart bomb effect. I would say it's in our bag of tricks of like, oh yeah, put in a smart bomb effect, or at least it used to be. Maybe not so much anymore. Bridget, if you don't know what a smart bomb effect is, and you've worked on so many bosses, then it seems like we probably don't use that terminology so much anymore.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think I've come across it yet.
I mean, you've made a lot of stuff explode at this point, so I feel like, yeah, maybe.
Do you have like do you have like a visual example?
Sure.
If you could find like a YouTube link, I would watch it.
Okay. You could look at a long play of Batman the Brave and the Bold, DS.
All right.
Is that one you guys worked on?
Let's see, David and Waz, and I want to say at least some other Way Forward people worked on it and contributed to it.
Nice.
Including me.
You're so smart, Cisco. Posted.
Oh, yeah,
Does there need to be a diagonal version of the wall spec? There sure does.
We never used those angled tiles, so that's definitely an oversight that has not really come up.
I've only seen them in Vince's cool eyeball gym.
Vince definitely really loves those angled tiles.
Yeah. Does that work? Yeah, okay. I'll put this on you first then, Sandy, just for the spec.
That Can that just be a separate bug? Well, I guess if it's getting implemented at the same time, it's fine.
You can make it a separate bug.
Yeah, I can make a separate bug.
All right, let's add some NPCs now.
PCs.
I can't make these though, can I? They need like special setup, right?
Yeah, the heads won't appear.
All right. Well, we can
Is
still...
the head a separate ANX?
The heads float programmatically.
Let me see.
But we'll still... Here, I'll make a little room of these guys, just so, like, we have a spot for them. What NPC should I grab? I'll grab this guy.
A bunch of animators. Let's see, Gustav worked on this game as a pixel modeler.
Which one?
On Batman, The Brave and the Bold.
Alright.
Oh yeah, that was the smart bomb effect.
Yeah, a lot of people that are all around in our periphery worked on this game for sure. Okay, here, let me give you a smart bomb effect link.
Well, they ain't got a head.
Oh, is that his little body? Oh no!
Let's make like a dialogue though. So I can hook up their portraits and stuff. Sean, you want to write some Astral Scholar dialogue?
What? Sure.
Just like anything, temp. I'm just setting him up.
What's his deal? Sorry, I was looking at other stuff. I'm ready.
These are the weirdos that inhabit the astral orrery. They are obsessed with spark technology. They have defected from the great kindness of Lionel and his funding. They hole up here, up in the stars. They got no like heads and bodies. They're like replacing their like messy, useless corporeal forms with these like golden floating masks. That enough to go on?
They're like a more like, why would you want to do this if you were them?
Why would I want to do this if I was them?
Yeah, like why would you want to be like in this fun club? Like, is there like a I don't know. It doesn't seem very relatable.
Relatable.
Yeah, shouldn't it draw you into the horror to be like? I don't know. So have something going on. Do regular people go and do this?
No,
Go to the Astral Orrery?
No,
I doubt it. It's kind of hard to get to. Maybe they like have to have graduated from a certain place.
From Astral Orrery School.
Weren't we saying that like the Astral Orrery Guild or academics are in opposition to Hollowers? Like what
yeah, they're like the
stand for
opposite. They're
Yeah.
they're about going up into the sky instead of deep into the ground.
Right. Well, Hollowers are very grounded too. They're like focused on terrestrial resources and materials, and the Astral Orrery academics are obsessed with the future and the cosmos and everything off this planet. That's why they're floating in the sky.
I'm not. I know David isn't here, but if he were here, he would say that has nothing to do with like being rich, which is like the theme of this game.
I disagree
So-
that the theme is being rich.
Well, then he would argue that, and he would say that should be like, it should be, everything should be thematically linked to that. So like let's think of ways that it could be like linked to it.
I think they're
like if the hollowers like don't need money, they want to like be all one with the earth or whatever. I guess that doesn't make much sense for Mina, who's like a blue-blooded aristocrat.
And
But
who's
if-
getting rich through the course of
Yeah, I don't think it's
playing the game.
But I guess that's what Spirit of David would say.
Yeah.
Ooh. BRB.
Okay. And we got a crash. Heck yeah.
Uh-oh.
Speaker pointer.
My resolution's too low to see.
I mean, I just didn't set something up right, I'm sure. Grab the speakers, grab the dialogue, build the game. Do these annexes exist, Sandy? For the character portraits?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I just didn't build or something. And they look the same, right?
The heads are different.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the bodies are the same, but the heads are different for both.
Okay.
He's like
Okay.
beautiful Squidward.
He does look like handsome Squidward.
Yep. The portrait even more so. Oh wait, that's what you're talking about, yeah. Yeah, the floating heads is cool. It's like, I think it parallels the fact that the orrery itself is like floating off the ground in an interesting.
Okay, so let me get this straight. These are people that do what? First, you're like, I'm interested in what am I interested in? Becoming one with the universe or whatever. So you go to Astral Orrery cult, and then you become a big floating head, and that's who you're talking to. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yep.
But you start out, you're like, I used to be a mouse, and now I'm a head.
Sure, yeah. Or a human,
I
or
mean-
a horse.
Their heads are floating above their bodies, but both elements are still there.
But it's not their like original head, right?
It's like encased in gold.
Yeah, there's like they're wearing like a mask, or their head is encased in gold. It's like, I don't know necessarily if
Like Futurama.
like
It's like
the
their
Nixon
original head. Yeah, but it's like encased. It's their original head is encased in gold, and then is it their original body floating underneath them,
Yeah.
or is everyone uniform looking?
Well, it is, I assume, their original body. It's just for these guys, it's detached, and then we were signed for the mini boss, you're fighting just the remnants of the bodies, and the heads have become their own like independent entity, which is the summoner enemy that you fight, because those are only heads, but they're kind of corrupted versions.
That's just like a real person's head.
Hmm.
And are they all like a person that looks like this? They're like a human.
I mean, what's behind the mask could potentially be anything, but the mask representation is human. I would say they're all uniform because they're all wearing masks, but what their species originally was could be anything. They don't care for the physical world and the physical like realm of Earth.
Right, I'm asking, is that their head?
I mean, yeah, probably. It's like behind the mask, or like in case.
Okay. So is their head like detached from their body now?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're wearing a mask. I'm just trying to understand here.
Keep going.
They used to be a mouse, but now they're just like a decapitated. But now they're decapitated. That's the horrific part. And they're wearing a mask, and their body floats underneath them.
The body doesn't.
Why
float,
is that?
Yeah.
And why is that good? Or like, what is that? Okay, I guess so. Here are my questions. Why does this signify like anything? Like we had to sever our head to sever our connection.
I mean, it's like a cult. Yeah, it's separating their connection. From
I understand. I understand that it's a cult, but we gotta.
Isn't there like a similar Bloodborne example of like how the astral scholars in Bloodborne, right? They're like obsessed with eyes. They all have eyes on the inside of their head. It's like a weird, I don't know, like body morphing thing where like once they've become assimilated into the cult, they like at some point they've managed to arrive at this like weird place where their bodies are really different. I don't know. I kind of interpreted it like that.
Insight.
Do you live forever?
Right.
Or do you die like normal? Or are you like a golem now? How do you become different after you become a nice person?
You use all of your money and your connections to go find the secret entrance to the astral orrery and join the rich cult of weirdos with floating heads who want to live forever by replacing their body parts as if they were cyborgs.
Yeah, I feel like I pictured it like a Coraline kind of thing where you can show up and they have some kind of weird room where like they do some kind of operation where you're like detaching your head and putting it in this mask. Like I didn't think that this just like happens one day all of a sudden. I figured this is something that they're like doing to each other.
Happens one bit at a time. Could you do like your hand first? I don't know if I'm like ready to jump all the way in.
Sure.
Oh, just a finger. Let me just start with a finger. Floating finger.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. The ship of Theseus sort of thing.
Fernanda was just watching this Netflix documentary about cults, and there was one where the leaders managed to convince all the followers that they were like special and that they're actually aliens, some kind of like far-flung version of humanity that is somehow on Earth right now, but they're actually aliens inside of like a skin suit, and that death is just ascension back to space. And they were like talking about they actually removed parts of their body as like a way to prove that they didn't need the physical world. It was very strange, but it reminded me of this in a way.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that's a good question. Like, what are the benefits of like doing this? Like, okay, sure, you join a cult where you are rich and you replace your body with like robot parts or whatever. But like, what good things happen to you as a result? You can live forever, or you can like live for longer by replacing your parts, right? You
can live longer.
What else?
You can fit in with all these guys.
It's like a status symbol.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I guess if you go here, you like want to.
I wonder if like, I don't know, like if you're gonna replace all your parts, I wonder if like, I don't know, the ultimate ascension is to like just let your head ascend like up and up and up into space and like see where you go.
I mean, maybe just having your head detached allows your brain to focus on like cognitive things and not have to focus on keeping your physical body alive.
Like they're trying to use like, you know,
I like it. My head
the human brain, yeah.
It lets me focus.
Right, it lets you like become smarter and use your brain's potential for cognitive function.
Instead of using like 30% of it, you're using 100% of it because you don't have to worry about like, you know,
Right.
And that's why
whatever your brain is doing for your body.
that could explain what the summoners are too, because they have no bodies, like even floating or even below them. They're just the head, and their like brain is bigger, but they're also crazy.
Yeah, I guess like you could do stuff you always wanted to, like have your head can just float around.
Just like I've always wanted.
I could
like if you
could go float out the window.
You don't have to. You don't have to
Sorry.
spend time like eating or drinking or sleeping because your brain is focused entirely.
Classic
on
robot
thinking.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you replace all your parts, you won't age, and you've also like I don't know. I guess I'd be curious if you no longer feel any pain too, because you're just like this big robot thing.
Okay, so like what? Yeah, so what are the bad parts of this? Then
They go crazy for sure.
you go crazy.
Well,
So this is like some Bioshock. So we've got a Bioshock on our hands here.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine that the NPCs you talk to are maybe in the early stages of this process, or are maybe not taking it as far as the summoner enemies, which are just maybe they were like completely obsessed and even got rid of their bodies, which are the things you fight in the mini boss fight. It's like the bodies of summoners.
Right. It could also be that like you go crazy, or it's like, oh, they like got really smart. You know, like it could be a little ambiguous. Like if your mental cognition goes and you start seeing stuff, you're like having visions, but really you're going crazy.
Yeah, they definitely think they're not crazy and that they're just ascended or something, or like
They don't think they're crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, what else? What's some other bad things that happen?
I mean, they're also like abandoning anybody else that they knew, right, to come here.
Right.
So they're just like
right,
the whole thing has
abandoned
become
everyone
this, like,
to come here.
Yeah, it's like a whole group. It's like a groupthink thing now too, where like they're not really, they might not be thinking for themselves anymore. They're like buying into it.
Well, and there's an irony behind it too, because they're using spark technology, which is coming from the ground, like from the earth. So if they feel like in order to ascend, they need this power to like keep the orrery functioning, it's like it's what's the word? They're like using something that they stand against to maintain their lifestyle in a way.
I don't understand this whole what you're talking about, Sandy.
So
they hate the ground. They hate the ground.
It's not literally the ground per se. I imagine that it's earthly things, physical things that seem to them mundane and like their followers might be obsessed with the past. If you think about it this way, they're obsessed with the past because that's where, under the earth is where things are buried and where history is like recordable and like verifiable. But to them, that stuff is boring. It's happened. They're obsessed with like the future and moving forward and ascending off this planet because that's where like everything more interesting.
Mina's using Spark to try to make life better for humans. These guys are like taking it a step further, trying to use it to like be better than humans.
I get the idea of like they're trying to just steal the spark in order to live forever and do crazy things to themselves, right? They're like basically what they're like. They're doing what's happening to everyone else on accident, but they're doing it like on purpose.
Right.
Right. And they have like a cult about it also.
Yeah.
I guess the idea of like followers being obsessed with the past doesn't really make that much sense to me, since Mina's like an inventor lady, or it's like that seems like a new thought to me.
I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily something that is necessary to support Mina's actions, but it seems like something that could fit in opposition to like this group, because the Hollowers could potentially be seen as cultish to some people too.
Okay, so how do the astral orrery people show that they like hate physical things, or that they like? How do they signify that?
Sorry, the doorbell rang.
My camera is frozen. How do I fix that?
Hey, are we still like reviewing this bug?
I don't know anymore.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was just riffing on whatever.
Well, sorry, I think Alec has been writing like dialogue in the background.
I wrote a dialogue line. Write another one, and then tell me it's done, and then we'll reveal it live.
Well, what do they want to say? What is this? Just someone that you're talking to, a random person?
Yeah, we're just throwing some NPCs in here till I get it working and have them represented.
Okay.
Dialogue temp.
You can make a few if you want. But as far as reviewing this bug, looks cool. I'm just gonna assign to programming to get the other stuff working.
They get that head.
Get that head.
Don't say that.
Get that head.
Let me just commit these.
Hopefully when we're doing the writing pass later on, Sean, we can all make sense of this like in a more concrete way.
I mean, I think knowing all this stuff would be good, even as you're constructing the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely talked about it, yeah.
Gotta update the story and world section. That's with like all this conversation. That's the thing that's missing.
Oh, like the streams was a little low quality, but you assigned that to David, right?
The what was low quality? Huh? What?
I'm watching just the YouTube stream and saw you reassigned it to programming, but was that David?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right.
Okay. What do we got next?
We're at 140 right now. It's slated to go till 2, but we got wiggle room for however long we want to go.
Wiggle.
But just keep that in mind.
The food is approaching now. Lunch.
It's already here.
Yep.
Oh damn. All right. Well, let's not go too long, so that way I can get in and eat food.
Sounds good. Pick probably one or two more that you think would be good to look at on stream.
This one seems like there's not a lot there. We could evaluate this enemy. How about that? Let me do that.
Which guy?
Oh
yeah, the mimic
skull guy.
Mimic skull. That was a backer enemy.
Yeah, Michael O'Malley, if you're in here, here's your enemy. Okay, what was going on with all of this? I made a bunch of complaints, and now they've been addressed. Okay, cool. Did I like make a spot to fight these guys? I don't remember. Where is that? Where's that room? Is that in my gym? No. Let's check Eli's. See him anywhere? There's some down there. Okay, I like the bottom right area. Alright. Here's a cool enemy. Backer enemy. So you may notice something's a little different with all of these things on screen, right? They got little red eyes. And when you get close to it... Oh... That was
Whoa,
not...
that came out really fast.
Yeah, it's gotta surprise you and get you. Oh, he grabbed me. Oh, no. Now he laughs at you. Let's spawn all of them. Oh god. Oh god. And they all got different heads based on what pickup they were pretending to be. Isn't that cool?
It's like scary, but it's so good.
We're gonna have like 2 on screen at the most. Like, alright. What did I say last time? And what are we checking? They need like different stats. I'm sure that's all fine. We already talked about it.
I have a question.
What up?
It's a nightmare. Sorry. Go ahead.
Is it weird that they come out of the ground when you just get within a radius of them and not when you try and pick it up? Isn't that where the surprise should be? That you try and interact with it like a normal one and then you get surprised? Like a mimic chest.
Well, how do you interact with like a skull on the ground? You touch it, right?
Right. And
So,
then you
like-
get knocked back and then it comes out.
I mean,
I think
that's
it's-
basically what's happened. What would be the difference that you're describing?
The difference is that the fake out is that you think it's a normal one. So you go and try and pick it up and then you're like, whoa, it's not. But the way it is now, you can't even get close enough to like interact with it the way that you normally would.
I mean, you can set an aggro range. Like, is that what you're talking about? If it was just
No,
like really small.
I think you should have to interact with it like normal, and Mina's reaction is.
What's the difference between what you're talking about and what is on screen right now?
You would take damage if you touch it without realizing that it's a damaged skull, though, right, Sandy? Or do you think it would just be a knockback?
Probably just a knockback. I think taking damage might be too punishing, but
I feel like the player, if they don't know and they're pretty close to it, it's still surprising. You know, like the expectation is that they were about to pick it up and it still pops up, and whether it happens the moment before they pick it up or the moment that they do pick it up, it seems like it's still the same surprise, but it might be a little more punishing if they're like right on top of it when it reveals itself.
yeah, maybe just changing the radius is good enough. Although with a chest, you're probably not even going to get that close. You're going to try and hit it, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's better if the range is bigger, because then I have like at least one tiny moment to be like, oh crap, this is like not what I thought.
I don't know. I mean, this is a mimic, right? Like every mimic in every game is functionally the same until you try and do the interaction. So I guess it feels not like what it's supposed to be. But if no one, I mean, if everyone else thinks this is fine and that it does feel like a mimic, then I'll stop talking about it, I guess.
I mean, I think to the player this distinction is like not very relevant. Like, like when I see it, I'm gonna like walk into it. Like you already like don't have enough time, really. Like I think the surprise that we are talking about will be delivered. Like even if like no changes are made. So this is
the
more...
radius is way smaller, so that does a little better.
It seems like your expectation, though, Sandy, is like the moment you would do that interaction that you're trying to do, that's when the surprise would start happening.
Who's that?
Right,
And
so
then
that's
as it
more
happens-
like, this is more like philosophical, I guess. If it's like important that like you actually like touch it first,
Yeah.
instead of like, you know, you're 99% likely to run into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's okay. If when I like place these guys, if I'm finding that to be like useful or not, I'll just change the aggro range.
Yeah. That might be a hard call to
Hey,
make.
You see this?
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, if you whip like one of the skulls or the chest from a distance that's like outside the radius, does the mini boss or does the guy still activate?
If you attack him at all,
Or can
he
you
activates.
Okay, great.
It seems like it might be hard to evaluate the best setup for that in like these isolated setups. So we can take a look at it again once it's in a real room.
I think this is maybe just good, actually. I like made like some areas with this guy. I don't know where I put them though. Because I'm dumb.
What I'm curious about is like, not that you ever would, but if there's a room that was full of fake treasure and like one real treasure, then the aggro radius would be important. Of like, you have to walk the maze and only touch, the right what's the chalice called from Indiana Jones? Holy Grail. And if you choose poorly, they all aggro you.
From Indiana Jones and also real life.
It's only from Indiana Jones. They invented it for that.
Where the heck did I put that? There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Scratch. Crypt. Oh, so hard. That's good.
It's a lot of bone bombs.
Sure is.
Bone bomb.
Bone bomb.
Bone bomb.
I'm trying to think of like, if you do, like what you were saying, Michael, if you enter a room that's full of bones, are you actually going to be surprised if you're like running around picking them all up, if the radius is such that you like just move toward the pile and then it immediately emerges from the ground? Like, I don't know, that just doesn't seem as cool to me as if like you were picking them all up because you didn't notice the red eye, and because you picked up the wrong one, then it comes out. The other seems like it's just a mini boss fight intro.
Either way, you're gonna get like extremely close to it, and then it comes alive. I think it's better if the player has like the tiniest chance to like realize something's happening and get away.
I think, Sandy, your concern in like the most extreme scenario, it would be more valid. I think, where if it's like from across the room it pops up, then all the tension is gone. But it seems like even in Alec's case of wanting to give it a little bit of range, you're still pretty close when it pops up.
Yeah, maybe if it's small enough, it solves that issue.
Yeah.
If you're like cautious, you're gonna hit it from afar. I don't think it like changes anything really.
Okay. Can it actually take damage if you hit the eyes sprite?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can hit it.
Nice.
Okay. This guy looks a little strange, I think, when you kill him. Why is that? He like flashes white. It's because there's like no flames for like forever. Why does it take forever? Like compared to like Skulker here.
Cisco made a good point that should the hands have a small shadow? They probably should.
They do, don't they?
They do? Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, this is just a very dark room.
Yeah, it might be hard to see, depending on your monitor.
He like shakes and flames immediately. What's going on here?
Shakes
like,
and flames.
He's like not flaming and shaking. This looks weird.
Flamin' hot mimic. Delicious.
Shakes and flames sounds like a fast food joint.
It does. That sounds really good. Hot chicken sandwich at Shakes and Flames.
Yeah.
So we're getting for lunch next week.
Oh man. Delicious.
Okay.
That Skulker looks like it's digging for bones and the mimic's about to attack it. Not today, Skulker.
Oops.
Do you think a Skulker has ever walked into town and like tried to sell his head because it was really poor? What
Dude,
about
that sounds,
Nice?
We definitely got an enemy like that.
sounds like a fiddle song that you gotta write.
You're right. Should be someone in the bayou that sings about that. That's what Nice Skulker should do in the hub.
That like brings up a more terrifying question of like, is the currency in this world sentient?
No.
If the skulker
No,
sells
yeah.
its head, is it still a skulker even when it's used as money?
I mean, it depends.
And then it like leaps out at night. That's like what happens.
I mean,
Things are like jails.
the bones you're
You gotta
picking
keep
up
them.
and using as currency like have not been reanimated, right? But Skulker
Yeah.
like obviously like has, right? So I think
Oh,
if
yeah.
you like if you're just a regular guy and you decapitated yourself, right? And then there was your skull, you would like still be dead in this world. And someone could use your skull to like buy a bicycle. But if
So specific.
but if you you know, if that skull was then reanimated, whether it's on your body or not, then you could like, you know, come back to life and be a skulker. Those are the rules.
I feel
But
like
then
too. I
Go
think that in my brain, skulkers, like that skull, that cow skull, is not necessarily their head. They might have like a small fleshy head underneath it.
Oh, like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Nah,
So if they
I
stole
think
the
that's
skull,
their head.
uh,
They were like cow people. We gotta add like one like cow NPC that like that's wearing like the same clothes. How about that?
And it's like, when I die, I hope I don't come back and fight you, Mina. And then
Right.
later on, there's a skulker there.
right. That's my
It's like
worst fear. I love you, Mina. I don't want to fight you.
It's like in movies when someone's been bit by a zombie and they're like, okay, time for you to go. Don't
Right.
stick around.
Right.
Get out of here.
Do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
that
You to go.
Do you think that, like, in Walking Dead, how sometimes if a person's family member zombifies, they, like, keep them locked in a room because they can't, like, bear to
That's a
kill them?
plot. That's a plot point.
Yeah.
That's like an actual. There's a bunch of points like that in the show. I remember.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think that this ever happens here?
Oh, like Uncle John turned into a skulker, and I just
Right.
keep him in this room.
Right,
If
like in the hub.
we should totally do that.
In the hub, there should just be, like, a back room where someone's, like, father is, like, yeah, turned into a skulker or one of the tall zombies or something.
I mean, that's kind of similar to what that backer request we got. What was it? Is it the Darren Dugan? It's kind of similar. But I feel like this idea that we're saying could be something separate though.
Yeah, you're right,
It could
though.
be like
That's true. It's a little similar. I forgot
I
about
think
that
I'm
one. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm picturing this as like a flavor NPC moment. Dogapede, look at my boy.
I'm looking at Dogapede.
It's really weird working on a game for so long, like one game, because
There
there's
is.
so much.
Yep.
What? Yeah, it's weird. Like there's so much that you forget that you worked on or that you have yet to do, and like seeing stuff like this, like even Dogapede. I forgot about Dogapede. That wasn't even that long ago.
I'll never forget Dogapede.
Never forget.
That was like the last level we did, Sandy.
No, there's just been so much since then. This game's too big.
I know one of the last edits that I made to Dogapede was to make sure that he de-aggroes, so that should be working, Alec.
Dogapede's looking really good though.
It looks so good.
Bless.
Is there a way to like make his shaking cleaner? Check it out. This is like what always happens. I like hit him, right? Regular enemy shake. So far so good, right? But like what's always gonna happen afterwards is like his body pieces are like, oh right, now I need to like shake because I got hit. And it's just like a bunch of unnecessary distracting motion.
Sure. If you just hit the pieces, like, and you don't hit the head, I assume those should still shake. But I can try to make it so that like if you hit the head, it doesn't do that additional shake.
I think that would just make it like read clear.
Can't wait to do the Knights of Thorn. That's gonna be my favorite thing.
It's gonna be sick.
The coolest thing.
gonna be a lot of the coolest things in this game.
There's so many coolest things.
I mean, I know what my personal coolest thing is gonna be, and I'm very excited about it.
The tickle night.
Tickle night?
What?
Each one's gonna have like a different thing, right?
Yeah.
Isn't one of them?
Oh,
gonna
you
have,
mean
like,
the
a
Knights of
feather?
Thorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got their things.
We're running out of time to do long nose too.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay
Poor
with that.
David.
I'm not. We gotta have it.
I'm kidding.
I mean, this all seems cool. Dog of Feud was already cool. I'm just gonna. Should this go to you or David, Bridget?
Always send things to David. I would
Yeah,
say.
go ahead, pass it to David. Thanks.
Longnose should be like a guy in the ice. Did we talk about this? Where like his nose is sticking up out of the ice, and that's how he can breathe, while his body is like frozen under the ice. But the nose has collisions, so you like walk into it and behind it, and then if you get him out of the ice, that's when he like stands up, and you see how his like nose is all long and swivels around.
Great idea.
We need Trainyard NPCs.
Okay. Move Dogapede. What do we want to do next? Not that one.
You could do major minor if you're feeling adventurous.
Nah, we ain't got time for all that.
Yeah. Whatever you do next will probably be the last one. For
Oh yeah,
this
it's almost 2.
What a world.
The clock's gonna strike midnight.
What a world! What a
stream.
world!
What a world with 2 p.m.
How about B-Bet? Let's look at B-Bet. One more enemy. Okay. This guy was already working well, but then we made like adjustments to the combat height system.
Keep it.
And now he like works more better with that, and also it seems like he got like a little bit more work. De-aggroes if the player's out of range. It goes like back to its zone. Has a little de-acceleration as it de-aggroes, so it doesn't feel so sudden. Force aggro of 2 seconds. When you hit it, you can lure it from its original wander area. Are these all going to work like this? Like they have like a little zone they're protecting? I guess that's what I assume based on what's written. Let's throw some B-bats in here. Actually no. Let's see. Where's Eli's B-bats? They're at the top. Now he like kind of comes at me, but not really. You gotta like be in his area, I guess. What if I don't know the aggro ranges and I'm just fighting him?
B-Bet.
B-Bet. B-Bet.
B-bit.
B-Bet.
When I was a kid.
Shut up, guys.
When I was a kid, I couldn't pronounce my full name, Bridget, so I would call myself Beebit, and that's now like one of my like kid nicknames. So
You have so
hearing
many
that made me really confused.
That's cute. Okay, Farley.
Sandy, shut up! Stop! Don't do it. I found out my parents almost named me Farley, which is ridiculous because my brother is named Charlie.
Charlie and Farley.
Yeah, we could have been name twins.
Excellent.
Farley.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? What
What your life has been like?
right? I don't know. One can only guess.
I like how when you told me that, I was like, The only Farley I can think of is Chris Farley, and then you're like, yeah, named after Chris Farley.
Yeah, that's correct.
That is literally the reason. That's amazing.
As far as I've been told, but I don't know. It could be just like a 27-year-long prank.
Wow.
It's a good prank.
B-Bat still seems
Alas,
cool.
It was not meant to be.
You bet.
You bet.
What are the L2 upgrades that he got?
He's just like more aggressive, I think, and he has more health.
Seems like he kind of snakes towards you in a different way.
I don't think so. He's just doing it faster.
Oh,
Snakes toward you.
I thought he did. Like normal VBAT kind of.
He's like,
Oh no, never mind.
He's a snaking.
Yeah.
All the height stuff is working pretty good, I think. Yeah, nice. Okay. Cool, nice.
I got some Astro Scholar lines for you.
Oh yeah? Here, I want it to be a surprise when I look at it in game. We'll all look at it together, and that's how we'll end this.
I have 6 lines, so you need to
dialogue?
put more.
What are the dialogue entries? Just like rattle
I'll
them off.
paste them to you.
No, because I don't want to open Slack.
Astral Scholar M_01. It's just like what you had.
Yeah.
01, 02, and 03, and F 01, 02, and 03.
Okay, cool.
F for female.
F02, F03, fetch all, build. Let's finish off this BBAT bug first.
Do we have any visual language for attacking something?
Bro,
Yeah,
bro, what?
Can
Like-
you be more specific?
Yes, I can. So we have switches that have some language for something you can walk over. We have language for something you can burrow into, that X symbol. Do we have anything that if you see it, you know, oh, I should attack this, like
That's like
or
everything.
object?
You only got like 2 buttons in this game. You're gonna attack everything.
So what you're saying is it doesn't need a language.
I mean, what could it possibly be? Like you attack treasure chests, like bushes, enemies, like.
The distinction that I would make, I guess, is if it's a static sprite, you might think it's just collision, like it's a weird rock, right? It's like a custom version of a rock. But if it's animating, maybe that's enough to let you know you should interact with it. So maybe that's all we need, is like to make it move or pulse or something.
I would say, if anything, this should be relegated simply to just like intentional color palette choice. Like interactable stuff tends to be brighter than like background stuff, and I think that's like true already in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, BBAT is gone, and now to end the stream, we're going to go back to the Astral Orrery, and we're gonna view some dialogue. Let's see what Sean came up with. Okay, ready? I'll make it full screen. At first, I just upgraded my left arm. I wasn't quite ready to take the whole plunge yet. Plagued by overthought? Just sever your head. Some time away from your body can do you good. Nice.
It's
In fleeting moments, I feel a shadow of longing for my family. That's it. Aw. Salutations. I'd offer you the comfort of a simple, warm handshake. If I still had my hand, that is. We're building something incredible here, beyond human limits. You'll see. Wow, great
That's
temp
pretty good.
dialogue.
I like that one.
All right, cool. Well, this was a fun and productive couple of hours. We got to look at some things. We got to pass some tasks around. We got to write some dialogue. Hope you guys had fun. Did everyone
I
have
had fun.
This was a unique task.
Yeah, I think
I
we've
hope-
never really done one of these like review ones.
Passing tasks.
Nope.
Yeah.
This was. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead.
How dare you?
I was gonna say usually everyone's working on their own stuff, and Alec just looks at these in a vacuum. But it is nice to
lonely
chat about
isolation.
them together while we're all here for the backers.
Yeah, this seemed like it was more representative of an actual normal day for us.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us. Let us know also like what kind of streams you might want to see in the future. How we usually been doing this is like every time we write a Kickstarter update, it's like uh-oh guys, who's gonna stream? And then I go I guess I will. So if there's something specific you guys want to see, let us know, and I'm sure we can make it happen. Thanks so much for all the cool comments. Thanks so much for backing the game, obviously. Oh my gosh. And we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm not sure we'll be able to do one next month because everyone's
We'll
going to
do
be...
one. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen.
Okay, we'll figure it out. It might be earlier though because people are going to like leave for like the holidays. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll plan around.
I could probably do a stream next month when I'm out of Bossland. I bet I could do one.
All right, Bridget's doing a stream. You heard it here first.
Or whatever the people would like to see, I'm sure.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the next Kickstarter update. We'll have it resolved by then.
Stay tuned. All right,
I mean,
I'm gonna go.
Bye,
I'm
everybody.
gonna go drive in and eat that lunch.
See ya.
See y'all later.
Good stream, everyone.